Hold on. Okay, you know how we give it up. No music. No music. No music. Welcome to the show. No music. No music. Shawn Harvey morning show. Wake up team. No music. Coming to the chat room. Gonna give up that smoke. No music. No music. All right. Good morning, guys. God bless you. It is a turned up Tuesday. It is Tuesday, September the 13th, 2022, 14 minutes after the hour. Welcome. Shawn Harvey Morning Show featuring the Wake Up Team with the lovely B Love this morning. Only place on earth where you get your morning started right, guys. We are super excited to be here. The chat room is wide open, or you can call in. The number's 570-982-6950. Broadcasting live, iHeart radio.com, guys. You can Google the Shawn Harvey Morning Show featuring Wake Up Team. All the links come up, guys. Very easy show to find. We're on all major podcast platforms. And if you're not on social media, and if you're not on the podcast platforms, we're on YouTube this morning. So we appreciate you guys over there. Now, we're sponsored by Comedy World Network, guys. So go over to the Comedy World Network app and download and enjoy everything that goes on over there. And we appreciate the folks over there at Comedy World Network. We're on all social media platforms. Facebook, YouTube, TikToks, all of them, every single one of them. Just type in Shawn Harvey Morning Show, and they all will pop up. Also, we got a nice hot group on Facebook. Join our Facebook group on Shawn Harvey Morning Show Future Wake Up Team group. It's an awesome group. And what more can we say on a Turned Up Tuesday? This is where you get your morning love, but most importantly, it's the only place on earth where you get your morning started right. B Love, are you there?
I am here. Good morning.
Come on, let's clap. Come on, she's in the building.
Yay.
First of all, before we deliver this Turned Up Tuesday smoke, how are you this morning, B?
I'm fabulous. Thanks for asking. How are you today?
I'm feeling absolutely great this morning. I am so happy to be here on the Turned Up Tuesday. Like I said, there was a lot going on this morning for me, and I apologize, and that's why we're a little late, and that's my fault. I mean, starting on time yesterday, 7 o'clock. I know. I apologize for that to everyone. So we're going to get into this thing. Everybody in the chat, is the chat room open this day? I don't know what's going on. Is the chat room?
Yes, it is. The chat room is open. Some of our faves already in the building.
Good.
Felicia Washington Beard.
Good.
Lee.
Good.
LaShawn Oliver. Ginger. Nice. So let's go.
All right. So I tell you what. Before I get into anything personal, because guys, I tell all my business because I don't care.
Ain't nothing to hide, right, Shawn?
I have nothing, zero to hide. What they say, only God could judge me for real.
Exactly.
Yeah, because it's all out in the street and in the open anyway.
Exactly.
You know me. And for my folks here in the morning, you know how I give it up. I tell the truth, and if something's going on with me, I'll share right here because this is my therapy in the morning. But before I get into that, let's get into some of this smoke this morning. Now, B. Before we get, I know B got a few, and guys, we're super excited. B Love have a few, stories on her own. So we're gonna share. She's gonna share her stories as well. So we're gonna definitely turn up Tuesday. Now on Turn Up Tuesday, we start off, guys, and welcome to the show. On a sad note, one of the upcoming rappers from the Philadelphia area named PNB Rock passes away at 30 following armed robbery in Los Angeles. B, I don't know if you heard, I never heard of this rapper. It's a very popular young rapper at the age of 30 years old, right? And he died in Los Angeles at the Roscoe's Chicken and Waffle on Manchester in L.A. And I've been there. Hold on, let me see if I could play some of this. Look, I'm gonna play a little bit of this, okay?
Okay. Yep.
All right. Let me see. Just a little bit. And this And when I play this, and welcome to the show, guys.
Welcome back to another video with IDN TV. Now, in this video, we have some unfortunate news.
And the only reason why I'm sharing this video with this young podcaster here because we got to keep our feet on the ground, B. So there's a whole world going on out there.
Right.
And these young folks is a whole industry with young folks. Young folks is a $1 trillion industry.
Indeed.
And if we're podcasters, we have to stay on top of everything.
Yep.
Okay? And that's why we love Cindy so much, because Cindy's still in that younger kind of realm. So she knows a lot of this is going on. So I want to give a special shout out to Cindy sending me this video and story. So this is a young rapper from Philadelphia. His name is PNB Rock. Here you go.
PNB Rock has passed away during a robbery that went wrong today in Los Angeles. Now, the Philadelphia artist PNB Rock was shot today in Los Angeles around 1:21
This happened
p.m.
yesterday.
The local time in Los Angeles. Now, it was at a Roscoe's Chicken and Waffles off of Manchester in South LA.
I've been there.
Now, here is the screenshot of the crimes in the area, or at least the emergency call. Now, like I said, the time is in East Coast time. First call says incident reported at East Manchester Avenue and South Main Street. Now, the police say a man was hit in the chest, but he is conscious and breathing. Now, the police described the suspect as a man wearing a purple mask who ran eastbound from the location. Now, just yesterday, PNB Rock was seen on social media with
You still there,
his
B?
mother, Steph.
I'm here.
They were on social media specifically celebrating T. Grizzly's engagement/wedding video. Check it out.
Now, yesterday, B, the day before, he was at a wedding, right? One of his homies got married, so they're just showing pictures of them getting dressed. This is the day before he died.
Okay.
And he's there, he's obviously a young man. He's a good-looking young man. He got his lady, his baby mother with her. She's beautiful. She's young. And, they're showing pictures of this. And after this story is even, it leads to a conversation started, which we're going to get into. Again, it's unfortunate.
In a few hours today, it shows them on their way to Roscoe's. It showed PNB Rock in the car. It looks like he's in the passenger seat, and he is super iced out. Looks like he has 2 to 3 chains on, but they're big, gigantic. You can see it from across the street type of chains.
Now, B, he's in the car with his lady. They're going to the place where he got killed, and he got all his chains on, right, B? And his lady's in the car, and, he's rapping his songs, and he's panning the phone over to his lady. She's looking good. They're in this.
His girlfriend,
This is the interesting part, B.
She did the worst. She dropped the location showing where the pair were, and she posted the address maybe 30 to 40 minutes before the robbers came in. Now, what makes it even crazier is his girlfriend and baby mama, she just got her Instagram back yesterday. Now, her first post was yesterday at the wedding, but she says, I miss you guys. Sorry I have been MIA. Had to cleanse my spirit and my energy until it was pure. Nah, just playing. My baby daddy deleted my IG and wouldn't give me the password. But I'm back. Hey, y'all. And then PNB Rock under the comments, he said this. He says, had to do what I had to do. She all minds, y'all, with the laughing emojis. Now, fast forward until today. According to the footage they have released inside the restaurant, I will not post it out of respect for his family, friends, and fans. They say it was a robbery gone wrong. So it seems like PNB Rock, he wasn't giving up his valuable possessions, or at least fast enough for him. A witness, at least to the aftermath of the robbery, he shows outside the Roscoe's and says it was a robbery gone wrong. Now, the witness claims that he was eating with his kids in quote-unquote a relaxed environment when the robbery went wrong.
Well, they really walked right in there, boy.
Now, B, before we move on, and guys, welcome to the show. God bless. Shawn Harvey Morning Show, Wake Up Team, only place on earth where you get your morning started right. Why not? It's the only place where you get your morning love. Now, B, before we go on with the story, it's a very compelling story. It's sad, obviously. Made this young man, rest in peace, 30 years old, right there in the beginning of his life, and a superstar rapper with these young folks. And there's two things here. One, armed robberies are unbelievably at a an all-time high. And you would think, B, that during COVID, that's what I thought. I said, okay, remember when COVID was COVID, March 2020, April, and 4,000 was dying a day? I thought I was going to die the next day. And I thought that everyone, it humbled my ass, right?
Right.
But the crime accelerated during COVID. Do you guys remember that? Crime just went out of control with COVID. And I'm thinking, well, COVID is a virus where, it contracted from one person to the next. And I would think people would want to be away from each other. But that wasn't the case with robbery.
Right.
So the old school armed robbery is still, that's one thing that's always trending. Old school robberies with guns don't go out of style.
No. The wolves are always out, and there's always an opportunity. And I don't understand, these young kids think they're they think they're invincible. Like, it can't be them. And when you look at how many, I think it's quite a few rappers in the past few months who have gotten killed for robbery.
Right.
Not really, listen, the wolves are always out. You always have to be aware of where you are and what's going on around, especially if you're going to be flashy with your money.
Right, and we'll get to that next. And like I said, and it doesn't, age doesn't, it's no immunity on age. Like, you could catch it from 17 years old or 90 years old. Unfortunately, I see these videos. They scare me, man. These cats are robbing elderly folks in the Bronx where I'm from. I see it on the news all the time. And my mother is elderly and she lives in the Bronx, so she doesn't come outside. Now, that's another issue. I mean, when she comes outside, obviously there's a bunch of people around her. My mother cannot walk outside by herself. It just can't. Not in that environment, right?
Right.
But the interesting, there's a lot of facets to this story. Unfortunately, this young man's passed away. He took his baby mother's social media page away from her and didn't give her the password. May this young man rest in peace. I think that is an extreme form of control, and for me, I don't think you should be taking anyone's passwords for anything.
Right.
Now, hold on. Now, that's another issue. We'll jump into that.
Okay.
But here's the problem here. She gets on the social media, which she has every right to, but every right to go onto on the social media platform on her page and post whatever she wants, within the guidelines of the social media, right?
Right.
This woman, unfortunately, man, and it's sad that you talk about wolves being out in the street. She posts the location, which we have every right to do, but our phones gives us that ability. Once you allow, that every time, guys, we go on social media and it says you put something on a map and it has that option that says allow or not to, and you say allow, that's it.
Mm-hmm.
Now you got the GPS is on.
Right.
And she posts where they were. But prior to the post, B, they're giving us the journey to the restaurant. Like, they're literally getting dressed. He's getting dressed in the video, right, B? Mm-hmm. He puts on these 3 big, giant diamond chain. B, I'll tell you, the guy looked like he weighs about 115 pounds. The chains look like they weigh about 400 pounds.
That's funny.
Like, this
a
dude,
lot of that stuff is not even real sometimes, though, Shawn. And it's so crazy to me because everything is about a look and, the perception of wealth and in their minds anyway, flashy jewelry. I just have to ask questions. And, you and I have talked about stuff like this before. I hate to be the conspiracy theorist over here, but could that be a setup? Why would you send a pin? The wolves are out. First of all, these young men, for the most part, know what's going on around them, and they know that they're targets. They know it. None of them think they're untouchable, and the ones who do are usually the ones that don't make it, i.e. this guy. Are we really getting ourselves dressed to go out, showing it off, dropping a pin? I don't know. That doesn't seem strange to you?
No, I'm not. Well, you have every right to go into, hold on a second. You have every right to go into conspiracy land. I get it. No, I don't think this is a conspiracy. I would be shocked. I wouldn't bet my life on it, but I think I would be shocked. I just think it's listen. When I was young and I was in 18 to 30 years old, and it doesn't matter, male or female. Some of us love to have a gold chain, and we was proud of it. B, when you was like 21, did you have a gold chain on your neck, like, and then you like you had the extra button down. You take that top button and you loosen that button, and you want everybody to see the chain. So I think we've all put it up on chat room if you've been through that as a younger person. Where you bought your chain, it doesn't matter. It could be a small chain or a big. I used to have this big Cuban link with another big Jesus cross, like looking like a complete idiot back in the day.
Well, listen, it's what you liked at the time, and it was cool at the time.
So I think that this is a contributing factor, B, to these young folks, especially when they have money. Now, you do bring up a really good point, especially in the rap videos. A lot of this jury is not even real. Like, it's a lot of props when they do videos. I've been on video sets 1,000 times. It's nothing but props. Some of the chains are fake. Some of them are real, but some of them are fake. Most of them are fake. Now, you do bring up a good point. Like, this would be unfortunate if this was these diamond chains you're wearing were fake. At this point, I hope they're real because I don't want them to die for nothing fake.
Right, exactly.
But she puts on the timeline. They do this whole journey, which is nothing wrong with it. It's really nothing wrong with it. Her timeline heading to this restaurant in Roscoe's in Manchester Avenue in L.A. shouldn't cost this rapper's death. Right. Okay? It shouldn't cost his death. Right? They get in the car, B. He's singing his rap songs. He's doing this. He's putting up the middle finger. He's showing his bad bitch that's next to him. I'm feeling all of this.
You're feeling the vibe. Okay.
Because if you got a bad bitch with you might as well show her off. What's the purpose of having a bad bitch?
She could have a good heart.
It's one of the friends' benefits of having a bad bitch. You got to show the bitch off. And it doesn't matter what color, black, white, green, white. It doesn't matter. If you're a bad bitch, you're a bad bitch. So if you're a dude, you want to show up your bad bitch. And that's what he did. That's what he did. And they were having a great time, and they went right to the hood. They went right to Roscoe's, and he walks into the restaurant, and she said in the news interview, she posted 40 minutes earlier, and 40 minutes later, here come the guys with the guns, and she also posted the food on the table. So it goes back to what you're saying with the wolves. Yeah. The wolves are probably looking on social media like, all right, let's go.
Exactly. Are you kidding me? That's the part I just don't understand. Like, why? What is the purpose of you posting every move? And to your point, I get it. Like, I get, that this is, I don't know. I feel so bad for them. They're just doing what they do. And, unfortunately, he's gone. And to your point, hopefully not over a fake chain.
So here's the two issues here. The first issue is, and may this young man rest in peace, but now this is I'm talking in the general terms. B-Love. Everybody B-Love's on the phone tomorrow night. Real Talk, LGO Real Talk.
LGO Real Talk. Tonight as well, 7:30 tonight, guys.
Okay, so let's hang out with her tonight and tomorrow night, 7:30.
Yes.
On Instagram. B, here we go, and then we're gonna turn it up Tuesday. We're gonna get this thing going, but it just brings up a very interesting a point for me that how do you take somebody and B, this is something that might be going on rampant throughout the community. Mm-hmm. How do you take somebody's social media page or phone, well, not the physical phone, but have control of their social media accounts and not give it back to them because they don't know the passwords?
I don't know.
That's what's that about? Now,
that sounds about control.
Now that's scary. Now, if say that's not cute. So say if my beloved wife says, "I'm taking," I went into your phone. I took your passwords and you can't get into your social media. We got a problem. Or not even social media, but anything as far as having passwords where you're restricting me to have access to my own person.
Right.
Who does
How
that?
does that even happen? Apparently him.
And I think that is not only is it controlling, it's passive aggressive. It's very angry. It's a lot of anger when you do something like that.
Well,
Now I understand if you have children, yes, if you have children, then you should monitor passwords and monitor what they're watching. That's one thing. That's a different issue. Being, I'm for sure you agree upon that. But two adults that are in a relationship with each other, if one of the partners is taking away the social media and taking the password away, I say run for the door. Because if you're doing that, then no, God knows what more of a controlling person you are.
So your wife doesn't have the passcode to your phone?
Do my wife have my passwords to my phone?
Yes.
Yeah, of course she does.
Okay.
She has the. But my wife has the passwords to both my phones, and my whole social, the whole thing. It's this. It's available. Without going into any detail, it's available to her at any time. Like, say, God forbid, something happened to me, and I don't want to say drop dead, but say if something happened, I can't get to anything, and I'm sick. She has the ability to get into anything that needs to be dealt with as far as my phones and laptop, all my personal information.
Well, I mean, what's so funny? That comes from trust. And the trust is that you're not going to violate me. You know what I mean? You're not going to violate us by going into my phone for stuff like you're looking for something. Nor should you if you're not up to any good. Unfortunately, people lie. And because people lie, other people feel the need to go through their phone, i.e. the chick, yesterday who ran over the old man because she saw that her sister was sleeping with the boyfriend. At the end of the day, we have to be accountable for ourselves. And I keep saying, stay out of people's phones. But that situation right there is control. And at the end of the day, nobody should be controlling what's going on with you in your life. That's just, for me, not okay.
Folks in the go ahead. No, I'm sorry, go ahead.
For me, there's a sense of insecurity on both sides, and that is not okay.
Put it on one chat room, guys. If you ever been through a situation like that where someone has access to your passwords and took away the ability for you to conduct business because of jealousy or control by taking your password as an adult, I think you run out the building. There's no way in hell that a grown person can do that to another grown person, but I wouldn't be surprised that it's probably happening on a daily basis with control. And I sympathize, before we move on, I sympathize with all men and women that are out there that are dealing with partners that are very controlling. And it must be torturous to be in a relationship with someone like that. I'm gonna tell you right now, let me give Harvey a round of applause. Hold on. And I'm gonna tell you why. As a grown-ass man, I'm 57 years old. God willing, I got hope I can see 58. I've never been a controlling person like that. Never. I've never.
That's a beautiful thing.
I don't know if I was naive to the fact. Maybe I needed something to control a woman or being an a-hole about it. I've never been that way. I'm not the type of man that what are you wearing? You can't wear that. Gonna go outside. What you doing? Your girlfriends are sluts. They did, but I never did. I've never been that way.
That's a beautiful thing. I think, again, it comes down to a sense of security of who you are. I know for a long time, and my platform is Little Girl Lost, right? So it talks about where I came from. I definitely was that person. I have been through phones. I broke it down yesterday to the science. Like, even going through the motion of going through somebody's phone or trying to figure out what they're up to, it can be overwhelming. But when you get to a certain point where you're just like, I don't even have the time to think about that. I
Right.
don't know about at this stage of the game. I'm like, I have no time for this nonsense. So, but it has to get to a certain point. For me, to you, what you're saying, yeah, I can't be with anybody control it. Don't even think about trying to tell me what to do. That's gonna be a hard no for me.
Now before
You're not the boss of me.
and B, before we get into our first news story, B, I'm gonna give you the honors and get into a news story. But I want to say this first. Two things. Don't forget at Lover Iron Mule this Sunday, September the 18th at the Iron Mule, 831 South Delaware Drive, Eastern Pennsylvania. Y'all come on out. Ed, Lover, and Friends. The ticket is moving fast. My phone is ringing. Y'all come on out. Iron Mule, 831 South Delaware Drive, Eastern Pennsylvania. Doors open up at 5. Showtime, 6 p.m. And also September the 30th, big birthday bash for our one and only Miss Miko. Y'all come on. Open house. We're going to party real heavy. We're going to play some music. Miss Miko's big birthday celebration. October the 27th, we're at the Comedy in Harlem. Get your tickets now. Live podcast. We're going to do the podcast live and / comedy show and after party. So y'all come on now. Comedy in Harlem, 508 East 117th Street, New York City. All right. Now, before you get into the story, I just want to say this. Now, unfortunately we talked about this rapper PNB Rock passing away in an armed robbery in Los Angeles, California yesterday. And I know how we are fearful of our children. Would you have that conversation, everybody, with your child? Have you ever had that conversation if your child had something on that was too flashy or an expensive pair of sneakers that you were kind of concerned about, them leaving the house because you know how popular the item was? Have any of you parents been through that? I'll be honest with you guys. I've never really been through that as far as my children because my children just wore like regular clothing.
That's funny.
Thank you.
They went to Bim's.
my
Shopped from Bim's.
all 5 of my children really they looked good and they had the modern look, but they didn't have the expensive look. Or they didn't have a shirt or a jacket or a $200 sneaker back in those days. Now I think these sneakers are $1,000, but I'm thinking like 20 years ago, the $200 sneaker where kids were going to school. And back in those, when I went to school, they would take your sneakers back in my day. Now this is a long time ago, but to you parents out there or you folks out there that's listening to the show, have you ever been concerned? As your child's growing up while you're walking out the door to go to school or wherever, and you're like, hey, that chain's a little too big, or that purse is a little too expensive, or those sneakers, or that belt. Have you ever had that conversation, or did you feel concerned seeing your beloved child walk out the door that way? That's all I'm saying. And B, at this time where we live in, you can walk out the door with a Chris Yankee fitted on.
Right.
And the wolves is trying to snatch that off your head.
Yep, absolutely.
So before we move on, guys,
Yes.
let us know, have you ever felt that way about any one of your loved ones coming outside with the extra expensive item on? I think that, like I said, I don't know how that feels. B, you have.
I do, because when I had my children, I had them young, and I worked. I always worked. I've been in corporate America since I was like 20 years old. Right. So I always liked that, and I always liked nice things, which meant that my daughter was going to school in some pretty nice things. I didn't know it at the time. But, she's wearing Gucci bags to school and she's in my closet. And so, when I found out, on one hand, I didn't mind because she's my only daughter and, it's just clothes. But on the other side, to your point, I'm like, what if something happens to you? She went to August Martin in Queens. Like, I'm like, we talk about wolves. They in packs out there. I'm like, you have to... That's a no.
So wait a minute. Your daughter went to sorry, before you continue, I didn't mean to interrupt you. Yes, I did. So wait a minute. Your daughter took one of your Gucci bags and took it to high school, to school with her.
not one of my Gucci bags. Like every day, she would take something out of my closet. It would, a
Oh,
belt, a bag, sneaker, whatever, jewelry. At the time when she was going to school, that Tiffany jewelry was out. So just expensive stuff that she's wearing to school, and I don't even know if she realized or if she did, and that's why she was wearing it. But I was definitely concerned. I'm like, girl, they will knock your head off for this, and it's just not worth it. So yeah, the conversation is a tough one to have, but at the same time, it's really not. You should be going to school, in regular clothes. To your point,
well,
but I think we were as a young parent. I wanted my kid to look like how I looked, which was fly.
yeah, no, I get it, and it's sort of that's the way it articulates from the child to the parent. Again, well, guys in the chat room, did your children? Were you concerned about your children wearing a high-end item to school? Was you concerned with that? Because, like I said, with my children, it was regular clothing. Put it on my chat room if your children had regular clothing like Harvey and it wasn't an issue. B, give me 7 number ones, please. And put a number 2 if there was an issue. B, that's very concerning. Like, as far as like your daughter taking your bag and you don't even know it.
Right.
And August Martin. August Martin wasn't worse than James Monroe High School in the Bronx. I tell you that much. Now, my high school had a methadone clinic in it. So tell us about that, guys. Have you ever had that issue?
Felicia said nope.
She says
she
no.
has not had that issue. Trina said, "Lord, catch me! I'm fainting. Whooping is what is being handed out."
Wait a minute. She said, "Who said the ass whipping is being handed out?"
Whooping time. Trina Pinker.
Wait, but why? But why? Why is before you go to the next person? Why is it because her daughter invaded her daughter and went into a private space and basically stole something, or she went outside and rocked the gear and maybe it made her daughter feel really good to rock whatever item it was, and maybe she's mad at that. Is she mad at the daughter take the item, or was she mad that the daughter's feeling good wearing it? Which one is it? It could be.
I'm waiting for her to respond, but I know for me, I first of all, stay out of my space, stay out of my things. You know what I mean? Especially as somebody who, likes the things, likes nice things. I'm like, I went to work I earned this. Like, who the hell are you to come in and grab shoes and bags that you ain't earned? I'm going to need you to wear those Pro-Cad and keep it moving. Like, that's what we brought to the table, Pro-Cad wear.
Yeah, right. Me too. Right. Me too. That's why I never had that. I mean, we all look good, but then what's concerning to me, and welcome to the show, guys. God bless you guys. Shawn Harvey Morning Show, Wake Up Team, only place on earth where you get your morning start right. And I want to thank everyone for taking the time to listen each and every day. God bless you guys. I'm still on my New York, New Jersey folks. If you've never seen the show live, if you've never seen me live in person, or you never seen Cindy and Miss Miko and B Lover, stop by, come through October the 27th at the Comedy in Harlem, 508 East 117th Street. I'm still waiting for the flyers. But now B, if you like, say if your child is into the new style and if you're blessed enough to afford these items for these young folks to go to school, right? B, if I got to put myself in a position where I'm like, oh, I got to do 5 Hail Marys and play for my kids while they walking out the door with this new style or the latest fashion, for me, it might be a problem.
Right.
I want to pray for my kids to make sure they're okay for the unforeseen that happens in life each and every day, right? Because we can't control that.
Right.
That's why everybody prays every day, because everybody prays every day for the unforeseen. Not for the things that you know that's going to happen.
Yeah.
But I don't want to pray because if my son got on them Jordan 27s, oh my God, please make sure this boy's all right. That's a problem. That's just for me.
But is it a clothes thing? Is it an expensive thing right now, Sean. It seems like it's just a life thing. And I don't want to, make it heavy, but we're
No,
just
make
living a
no.
time right now where with anything, and first off, I'm not even going to say right now. It's always been where you never know what it could be. Some kids just go outside, I mean, they just run to the store and never make it home. Some kids get snatched up off the street
Yeah,
and never make it home. You
but
know what I'm
B,
saying?
but B, that's what I'm talking about. That's the unforeseen. This you pray for that. Of course you do. I agree with you. But if my child is walking out and going to high school, like I said, I went to one of the worst high schools in New York City, and they got on a big gold chain and some $200 sneakers. I'm very concerned because, like you said, the wolves. And what about wolves? Wolves come in different. You got teenage wolves. You got 10th graders that are wolves. You have children that go to school that have absolutely nothing, and because of their parents, because of the hate, because I think it trickles down. It's like a trickle down effect, B. So the parents are dysfunctional. They're hating. They have all these tremendous life issues, which is compounded into the child.
Right.
And then the child goes to school, and they got a hole in their sneaker, and here come your beloved child with Vaseline on the face, looking good, ears clean, nice little chain, and some $100 sneakers.
Right.
That other child's going to look and go, I'm going to take those.
Right.
That's what I'm talking about praying.
Yep.
If you feel that your child, if your child walk down the block and they got on a $300, first of all, B, I don't think a child should have on a $400 coat going to school, regardless.
I agree. What have you done that warrants when I know that there's just as nice $100 coat out there that's going to keep you just as toasty? I don't understand it either. It's us as parents who are too indulgent and just want to give these kids what they want because we feel like it's a poor reflection on us if they're not dressed a certain way, if they're not wearing a certain brand, and it's just not the case. There's nothing wrong with getting what you need, not just what you want.
B, before we move on to your story, I think also, boy, what a tremendous amount of pressure to have on a parent to know that you're working all day, knowing that your child got on this $300 coat or $400 coat. And that's kind of, for a parent, for me at least, that would be on my mind for the almost the entire day, to wonder if this child is okay. And then they put these clothes on. And like I said, it's nothing you could do about it. You can't be underneath your child. Your child's going to go out into the world at a certain age. And that's when you really got to pray. And it's unfortunate because parents who work hard, on the flip side of this, B loves on the phone. Parents who on the flip side is who earn money, who can afford these items for these children. God bless you on that. You should have every right to put on these, like you just said about you being back in corporate America and having this stylish look and that articulated down to your daughter. You have every right for that. And the people that are out there today, people listen to the show, whatever, if you have the ways and means and you earn money and you can afford to purchase these items for your children, God bless you. Harvey's not a hater. But I'm just saying, B, it could be a tremendous amount of pressure on a parent that has the ways and means to afford these items for these children, for them to go out into the world and worry about them as well.
Right. And I think even to take it a step further, what is the mindset? And again, I have been that parent, so I'm speaking from both sides of the coin. What is in that mindset of us wanting to give our kids these expensive things because, again, it qualifies us as a parent in our mind to our kids and even the people around us. I can do this, so I am doing it. I can do it because I want to, right? But it teaches our kids not to have any skin in the game, Sean. They don't care. They don't value anything. They don't, you know what I'm saying? They don't even have a work ethic to go get it. There's this sense of entitlement now where it's just like, oh, this is my life, and I expect y'all to, you know what I'm saying, to fulfill it. And it's really crazy because, to your point, not only am I overextending myself in terms of spending the money that I really could be doing something else with, i.e., putting money away to give you a down payment for when you buy your first home. But I'd rather go ahead and toss it away on a $400 jacket that you're only going to wear for a season, because that makes me feel fulfilled as a parent and makes you an entitled kid.
Interesting.
It sets a bad precedent and a bad tone. And so I'm just like, listen, you better go to H&M.
Right.
Like today, I'm like, you better go ahead on to Target and pick up that pack of white clean t-shirts and clean socks and keep it moving. I'm playing with you guys.
Now, B, before I'm gonna drop a dime on myself. Before I was getting that heavy money, and then my baby mother started taking me to child support, and we was living that regular life. And then I started getting this tremendous amount of money back in the day. But before that, I just said to folks that I never had that issue about my children going to school with regular clothing, B. But I do have to admit this, okay? And you know how I give it up, guys. I tell the truth. B, as a parent back in those days, I did feel a sense of inadequacy, B, when the other parents' kids was out there shining and wearing those clothes and going to school and looking nice. Even though my children were looking good, don't get me wrong, they were just average kids that were looking good every day in school. I'm gonna give myself that, B, and thank God for Jesus. Okay. But B, there was definitely I don't know. I felt from time to time that, like little Timmy and Timmy mom and dad, whatever, was fly as hell all the time. And for me as a parent, there was a little inadequacy. There was a little feeling of these neighbors here. Not hate, not because remember, Harvey's not a hater. Harvey's not a hater. But I would say from time to time, look at these neighbors. They fly as hell. And look at little Timmy. He's fly as hell again. I have to admit, and I will drop a dime on myself, B. Welcome to the show. Good morning, guys. Only place on earth where you get your morning started, right? Yes, I will admit that there were times when I was a parent and these kids were going. My kids are grown now, guys, if y'all don't know. My youngest is 25. My youngest is 24 and the oldest is 38. And then I got the bonus son now. He's 6. No, he's 8. He's 8. But that, I'm not going to count. I'm not going to. He's 6. He's 8. Yeah, I'm not. Yeah, but these other kids, these are grown ass kids. But back then, I mean, grown ass adults at this point. But back then, yes, there was the few of those parents that came through, had their lives together in the hood, because it's nothing more productive than living in the hood, B, but having your life together. I'm gonna clap for those folks. Put a number 1 in the chat room if you know somebody that lives in the hood, in the gutter, but their life is together. Yes. And it was those parents, and that's that single hard work, because guys, you're not gonna believe it. Breaking news: even back in the '80s, there were single mothers, not as many as today. And even they were out there. They had these good jobs. You remember B-Love, all these young African-American sisters. They was working at Citibank back in the day. Manufacturers Hand Over Trust. Yeah. Remember Manufacturers Hand Over Trust? Put no in the chat room if you remember Manufacturers Hand Over Trust. And black folks had these jobs, and they worked in these law firms in Midtown Manhattan and downtown, and they worked for these brokers' houses that littered Wall Street, and they had these jobs, but they lived in the hood. Right. But they were doing well for themselves.
Because they lived in the hood.
because they were smart enough not to leave the hood.
Right.
But it articulated down to the child. And those are the parents that I'm talking about. Yes. They wear them hard bottom shoes, they drop that kid off, and they go to the number 2 train and head on down to Grand Central Station. Yep. But their kids were looking good, but I felt a little inadequacy, B. Because their kids were looking good all the time. God bless my children. They were regular.
There's nothing wrong with regular.
They were regular. Put a number 1 in the chat room if you choose. Regular.
Me
Put it up. B Love, nope. She already explained it. Her daughter wasn't regular. Okay, B was out there jet setting. She was cooked. B's, if y'all know B, she's beautiful today. She was beautiful back in light-skinned chick from Queens. You know how they give it up. Bronx cats wouldn't even go to Queens for them light-skinned honeys. It was nothing but light-skinned honeys out in Queens back in the 80s.
That is funny. Oh my goodness.
We kept it real hood. We let the LL Cool J neighbors out there bag all those light-skinned honeys. And them light-skinned honeys, they started all the way from Queensboro all the way out to Jamaica Estates.
Oh my goodness.
Littered with light-skinned honeys. And B is one of them.
You go crazy, Shawn.
But I didn't have that. I was challenged, guys. Yeah, my kids, regular. They went to school. LaShawn Hayes Jones, he put it number 1. Regular.
Yep.
Kids went to school. Regular.
Yep. That is so funny, Shawn.
Thank you.
You know what? There's not. Here's what I will say. In hindsight, I wish that that I had done regular with them, with all of them.
Why?
Because again, the entitlement that I handed them by giving them things they didn't even, I'm not going to say they didn't deserve, but they just had no business having. There's a value to understanding, being able to buy certain things and do certain things.
Right.
Because of the work that you put into it. Like we were doing that because of me. So that felt good to me and for me. When it comes to them, that sense of entitlement, I had to battle that for years, where I'm just like, I don't owe you anything. And when I look back at it now, I'm just like, there was so many different ways to go with it. Even today, when I look at fashion, my youngest, he's a Converse t-shirt, hoodie, some skinny jeans from Target, and he's fine with life. And he doesn't care about labels. He doesn't care about any of that stuff. So it's just like giving that, if I could go back, I would do it like that. Where middle of the road is just fine.
So, everybody, you hear this? You hear this? Welcome to Harvey's house.
Yes.
Because the truth comes out at Harvey's house.
Yep.
Maybe B might be feeling a certain way that, you know how they use the term, you created a monster.
Right. Exactly.
And sometimes that goes with the child as well. So it's like, okay, it's almost a simulation. It's almost like Build-A-Bear, but you build your child and you build your child in your likeness. And then when you get to that point with your child, you kind of don't like what you see that you built.
Right.
Not saying it's in your case. But then sometimes you go, you know what, maybe if we went down 2 or 3 levels, because kids are so impressionable with fashion today. You know, we were all like that. Mm-hmm. And I'll tell you how impressionable with fashion I was before you move on. B got a story for us, but let me share this story with you. My father, right, God bless him, may he rest in peace. He was drunk one night, B. And he had $40 on the table. Right, B?
Which
we had more than $40 on the table. I took $40.
Okay.
I took $40, B. I stole $40 from my father. Hold on a second. Hold on. My mother's going to get mad at me, but Ma, God bless you. Hold on, B.
Let's do it.
Hold on. And it goes back. Hold on. I'm trying to get my life together, B.
Get your life together.
B.
I'm here.
My father was one of those hard-working construction workers that, used to drink. Right?
Okay.
He was one of those. And he would get paid on a Thursday, B. And one night, he fell out on the couch. He's a hard-working guy. Typical hard-working black man from back in the 60s and 70s. Right, B?
Right.
Wendy Gonzalez, good morning. I'm on everybody. I'm in the chat room. I'm gonna say good morning to you guys right now. Wendy, we need you down at Comedy in Harlem, October the 27th, live broadcast. Shawn Harvey Morning Show, Wake Up Team. Need you in the building. The Godfather, Solar be in the building, and also LaShawn Haynes Jones so far. So, and we got a bunch of others that's coming through. And it goes back to fashion, B. At the time, the hot sneaker for that particular week, B. Adidas dropped a Kareem Abdul-Jabbar kind of sneaker. Remember Kareem Abdul-Jabbar? At that time, he was with the Lakers. I think that was the year Magic was down. I think Magic Johnson. I think they won the chip. I think it was like 79-80. They won the chip. And Adidas gave Kareem Abdul-Jabbar a sneaker, and it had Jabbar on the side of the sneaker. I can't remember. And B, the sneaker was an outrageous $30 back then, which would probably be the equivalent of about $150 to $200 then. Now. And B, I needed these sneakers because the kids in the school, everybody was wearing them. I didn't have them. Or they were wearing whatever sneaker were out back then. And I had on a regular pair of sneakers, B. I was actually going to junior high school 120. We all went there. I think even Wendy Gonzalez. Wendy, you went to 120, right? That was like sort of the neighborhood high school. It was out of my district a little bit because I lived down on Intervale where my beloved mother still lived. Wendy, I want you to go down there and check on my mother.
Thank you, Wendy.
Wendy Gonzalez, I want you to check on my mother because Wendy lives right up the block where I used to go to junior high school.
Okay. We see you, Wendy, up in the BX.
And Wendy and my mother have had conversations before. That's what I love about the folks in the chat room and what I love about this show. We have a loving community here each and every day. Yeah. Monday through Friday.
Yes, we do.
So being my father falls out. My mother's going to get mad at me, but Mom, God bless you. My father falls out, right? In some kind of like drunken kind of stupor. And B, I took the $40 because the shoes were $30. They were $29.99, $30.
Oh wow!
I took the money.
Oh wow!
And the next day I bought the sneakers.
Did your dad know?
B, he never knew.
Wow.
And B, here was the challenge. I bought the sneakers. Now I got the Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. I bought the sneakers, right? And I snuck the sneakers in the house. B, I threw the box, and even to today, like the data box was still the same box like they come in today. I think it was sort of the same kind of kind of style box, the sneaker box.
Okay.
And
the blue with the white stripes, you mean?
Yeah, the blue with the white stripes. The blue with the white stripes. And B, I'm gonna tell you something. I got rid of that box so fast it wasn't even funny. And B, I would have another pair of sneakers that my parents had bought me. I lived with my parents. And I would come to the crib, and I would, before I go into the house, this is going to be shocking news. My mother don't even know this. B, I would change sneakers. And I would go in the house. And B, for that moment, for that time, because I had the sneakers, I kept the sneakers, and at that point, when they got old, nobody cared.
Right.
But B, for that moment, I was in fashion at the moment. Shout out to my father. I had to get those $40 because he would have never. He would have. Let's clap for my father. May he rest in peace. He would have never. He would have never gave $40, 1980 for a pair of sneakers. Never.
No.
Never.
No.
Now, right, it goes back to Cheetah Pickett, right? Somebody getting their ass whipped. But Harvey played it clever. Nobody knew. Nobody got hurt.
Okay.
And I rocked those Adidas. I put those Adidas in my lunch box. I got to the school and put the Adidas on.
Right along with your bologna sandwich.
Oh my God. My mother's like, you took your sandwich? Yeah, and I got my Adidas. And the problem was, it was a very logistic problem too, because they were high top.
Oh, wow. You just went all out, huh? All out. They didn't have a low top version.
And my father would get up in the morning and take his ass down to work and just bust his ass. And I was shining with those Adidas on.
Okay. That's funny. I'm surprised that he didn't know that. He probably, well, you know, it's funny. He probably just figured I got by the wife.
Well, I don't know. Guys in the chat room, have you ever did anything? You stole an item from your parents or your mother or father? Apparently, B's daughter did. Put a number one chat room. If you took some item, I don't care what it is, out the house, and you know you wasn't supposed to as a child.
Wendy is all over you. She said your Adidas was missing the stripe, Shawn.
I'll tell you another funny story. Before you tell your story, you want to hear this one? On a Turned Up Tuesday, put a number one chat room if you're enjoying the show. Put a number two if you're not. I shared this story before years ago, but I'm going to share it again. Put a number one chat room. You stole something out from your any kind of article, any kind of item, and you walked out of that house, whether it was money or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Thank God for Jesus. Ma, I love you, mother boy. My mother's going to call at 10:15. I know it. God bless her. Okay, here's the next story before we get into the news. Put a number one in the chat room if you stole. Yeah, I'm using the word stole because that's what I did. That's what I did. That's what Harvey did.
Yeah, I'm not going to lie. I was
Have you put a number one? Hold on, before we get to your story. Put a number one if you stole, innocently stole, you stole some ish. Put a number one chat room, you stole something out of your mother, your father, whoever you live with, you walked out that door. B, is there any number ones in there?
Yes, there are. Myself included.
Come on, we here to get right with ourselves. It's okay. Talk about it. What did you steal? Because you've been holding on it. You've been holding on to this your whole adult life. My mother, God bless her, she's still with me. I thank the Lord for that. We're gonna have a conversation later today. But if some of y'all in that chat room, even B, she's about to tell it now. You stole something and you walked out that door. Whether if it was money, clothes, some item, whatever you did.
Mm-hmm.
B, I'm going to tell this story before. You want to tell your stolen item story? You want me to? Go ahead, B. Go ahead. Everybody, B Love got the floor.
No, the only thing I stole was the change out of the, you know how we always had a big change jar?
Yeah.
And I was a fiend for those butter crunch cookies at school.
Yeah.
So I would always just take enough from the change jar to get some butter crunch cookies and the extra milk. And I'm like, yo, my mother will light me up if she catches me in the change jar, but it was worth it. So go ahead.
Wow. So you stole money as well.
Yes.
Let's clap. Let's clap. She went in that change jar.
Getting that 75 cents every day. Every day. 75 cents, Shawn. I'm like, they can't miss it.
You was doing 75 cents a day out the change jar?
Hey, we could feed a kid in Africa. Those butter crunch cookies were going down every day. Butter crunch cookies and extra milk.
So it's safe to say that this was an active change jar. This change must have been going in this thing all the time, in and out. Your mother putting it in and you're taking it out.
Yep, all the time. Because my stepdad would come home. He was a bus driver. So it's not that he was getting change, but he was the kind of guy, like, you know, if he broke $1, he always had, like, change in his pockets. He always had change in the car. I guess for, like, parking and stuff like that when you had to drop quarters or whatever. But he always just had change, so he would come home every day, drop all his change into the change jar, and I'd go ahead and snatch my 3 quarters.
Hilarious. But B, now let me ask you this, and then we could talk about because I want to share the story, and then we could talk about the change dog because B, I tell you this real quick, and cause I got ADHD, I got to stay on one subject or I'll lose it. But I'm a good. Let's to the change dog. B, I filled up my last change jar in the house, right? And I took the change and I got I exchanged it for paper, right? Money.
Right.
But B, honestly, I have given up the change jar. I have because I really don't carry physical money like that anymore.
Right.
So now I don't have any change.
Right.
So I don't know why I have. You know what I mean? Like I don't. I have like right now in my possession no change, but in the crib I got maybe a handful of change. No, nothing to put in a jar.
Right.
I used to love put it on my chat room. If you still got a change jar. I always loved to throughout the years I've always did that. I always saved my change in jars.
Right.
And I think we've all put it on one chat room. If you ever did that, I think we've all have.
Mm-hmm.
But B, since we've moved into the age of just money, just exchanging without physically touching it, I haven't had really any change.
Right.
Now, B, but hold that though. I'm gonna share this quick story real quick, and then we'll get to the change jar, right?
Okay.
This goes back to the sneakers. B, my father back in the day, God bless him, he broke down one day in a moment of weakness. Put number one chat room if you ever have a change jar. If you still do currently, we're gonna get in that in a minute. And B's gonna tell a quick story. Back in the day, my father, God bless him, may he rest in peace. I don't know, in a moment of weakness, B, he bought me a pair of Pumas, the Clydes.
Okay.
Okay. This is in the 70s, 77, 78. At an unheard of price, B, of $19.99.
Right.
I'm telling my age now. Gregory Young and that, you there with me. You know. There's a lot of folk. The Godfather, you know what it is. And I don't know what happened. Maybe he had a great side chick weekend. I don't know.
Oh, Lord.
And maybe he hit the number. I don't know. But he looked at his beloved son and said, I'm going to reward you. And B, he bought me a pair of Pumas, and I got the blue ones with the silver stripe. That was the popular one because they came in blue with the silver, white stripe. They came in red with the white silver stripe, and they had Clyde. And boy, these sneakers were all unbelievable.
Those were dope. I remember those. Those were hot.
Exactly. And to this day, people still wear the Puma. But back then, it took a special meaning. And it was in the summertime, right? So school had ended for the summer. We was on summer break, and he got me those Pumas, and I just like, wow, man, this is good. It's good luck. And B, long story short, not even 2 weeks of me having these brand new Adidas, I had a hole in the sneaker.
What?
But B, not only did I have a hole in the sneaker, I had the hole in the top of the sneaker.
Oh, no.
With the big toe.
Bueno.
The big.
No, bueno.
Usually you get the hole in the bottom of the sneaker. I got the hole on the top of the sneaker, B.
How did that happen, Shawn?
I don't know. I was being 12 years old. I was being a kid. I was just.
How the hell did that happen, Shawn?
And I had this big, and I put
at the top.
at the top, B at the top.
Like your whole toe just said, "I'm out of here."
Yeah, the big toe was out. And I run to my father. Now this is the middle of the summer. Now it's July. We out of school, and this is back in the days when we sat in the front of the building. We didn't have social media. Everybody was in front of the stoop, 894 Rogers Place. God bless.
Stoop was social media. What are you talking about?
Exactly.
Stoop is everything right now.
So check this out, B, and God bless you guys. Thank you so much for listening to the show. We truly appreciate you. B Love's on the phone tonight, Instagram, 7:30. Let's check her out. B, I run to my father almost in glee. I ran to him like it was nothing wrong. He bought me a pair of Adidas. Time to get another one. B, I ran to my father. I go, I got a big hole in my sneaker. I announced it with so much pride and so much vigor.
Now nigga.
Let's put a pause on that.
Turns up Tuesday.
No. Let's put a pause on vigor. Yeah, I think I better put a pause on
Vigor.
that. B. He looked at me. He wasn't even mad because, you know, he's a black man from the South that moved to New York and working for the white man in the 60s, 70s, and 50s. He should be pissed. But he wasn't even mad. I'm thinking, okay, we're going to get another pair. B, don't you know, long story short, and I shared this before, I share it again. We drove to the Pathmark on Buckner Boulevard in the Bronx, New York. We went into the supermarket, B. We go to the back of the supermarket. In the Pathmarks, back in those days, they sold sneakers. The Skippies.
What?
They sold the Skippies for $1. My father got me a pair of Winnie the Poohs.
No.
And you see the Winnie the Pooh emblem on the sneaker and another pair of like real super skips. And I was in Pathmark Supermarket, B, and I started crying. Because I never downgraded to the skips. And these skips were hard. They were hard plastic made in North Korea.
Oh, wow. Not North Korea.
And
wow.
B, I was in the supermarket with tears in my eyes. The sneakers was next to the ice cream.
But at least get you some ice cream to make you feel better.
And my father walked to the back of and then back then, you know, my father was a real black man. He thought he was, you know, he couldn't get himself a Cadillac DeVille, so he downgraded down to a Buick Electra 225 two-door.
Oh, wow.
It looked like a
Nothing wrong with
coffin.
middle of the road, Pop.
He couldn't.
Nothing wrong with middle of the road.
He was $5,000 away from the sedan DeVille. Couldn't get it. He had to get the Buick Electra 225 with the vinyl seats, with the little small window in the back, with the carburetor.
Took you right back there and balled out on the slide.
We took a beeline right to the back of the supermarket where they had 6,000 pair of skips. All different sizes. Forget, you know, today you go into WSD and all that and all these places, they got the clearance rack in the back. This is worse than the clearance rack.
Oh, my goodness.
I wish he went to the clearance rack. I got my sneakers next to the ice cream and the bread.
Right between the ice cream and the
And B, I still had the Adidas on with the hole on the top. You can see my white sock with the big toe.
Oh, my God.
This is all facts. My mother would co-sign all of this.
Oh, my goodness.
And B, we walk over there to the line. We walk over there, we get online. My father pull out $2.30.
$2.30.
Yeah, because the sneakers were $1 each, 15-cent tax.
Oh, my goodness.
And those Winnie the Poohs was on the side looking at me like, are you ready? I'm talking about the Winnie the Pooh emblem. You know we know Winnie with the red shorts and the tan skin. And those Poohs looked at me like Michael Jordan emblem on those two. And the only thing I thought about it was the middle of summertime. It was a nice day in July. The stoop is popping. It's 4 o'clock in the afternoon. The stoop is popping.
It's prime time. It's prime time in the hood. 4 o'clock in the summer afternoon. Oh, you are asking for it.
And while we standing on that line, B, I was dreading the dreadful. And B, while we were standing in that line on Pathmark on Buckner Boulevard, I think now it's a Western Beef now. I don't know what it is. B, guess what? That line was moving fast. The one time the lines moved slow, it didn't move slow this time. While I got my Winnie the Poohs and that other rock, there was another pair of skip. It had a rocket ship on it.
Oh, wow. Did it light up too?
I was going to the moon like Ralph Cramden. And my father, again, remember, had no emotion. I thought everything was cool. But I didn't have the courage to even say, you get it this, I didn't protest. I didn't know what to do. I didn't have a pair of sneakers. B, we get out the supermarket. I think this was also a form of child abuse. I think so. This could be a criminal charge today as a child.
Oh my goodness.
B, we get to that. We leave. We purchase the 2 Snickers for $2.30. B, guess what? We go out and we walk towards the car. You know, my father, God bless him, may rest his peace. You know what he says to me very quietly but very confidently? B Love?
What did he say?
He said, when you get to the car, take those sneakers off. The Pumas, the one with the holes in them. Because I made a conscious decision that I will wear these Pumas with the hole in them for the rest of my natural life.
Before I put those pools on.
Winnie, the pools are staring at me. And the shoes with the rockets on them. I don't know what they were. And they had the flames coming out.
See, Sean, that's the difference between you and Kanye West. Kanye West would have made a statement with those Winnie the Poohs. He'd have been like, I'm the first one rocking these joints out here. What y'all know about those Winnie the Poohs? What you know about them?
So, B, we get into this. We get into that 1969. Remember, this is 1980 something. He's got a car that's 11 years old. We get into that 1969 Buick Electra 225 two-door that looked like a hearse with the small windows in the back. He says, take those shoes off and give them to me. I go, oh, my God. As a child at the age of 11 or 12 or what I was, I felt a tremendous stress like an adult. He takes the shoes and he puts them in his trunk. True story.
Wow.
And B, I have a life decision to make. Whether it was the rocket ship shoes or the Winnie the Pooh.
Let me guess which one you went with, Sean.
Now the ride from Buckner to the Pathmark. If you're in the Bronx, you know what I'm talking about. It's any kind of in your local Pathmark from back in the day. If people in New York, you know what it is. People from out of town, you know your local hood supermarket.
Hey, man.
The Bruckner, the Pathmark from the Bruckner back to Annabelle, where my beloved mother still lived today, was no traffic. About a 15-minute drive. And that 15 minutes took literally 90 seconds. We pull up in the block, B. When we pull up in the block, I look in my peripheral 45-degree angle, and guess what I see, B? I see the stoop is packed.
Okay, I told you.
Packed with 12-year-old kids that are brutal. With the snap game. That's how I became funny.
Oh, God.
And B, they don't even know what's going on. I pull up with the sad death face. I pull up like I'm on death row going down the corridor to get my medicine to meet Jesus.
Pretty much.
Ha! And B, that's when, because my chin always sweat first. And that's when the first time my chin ever sweated. And my father drives right down the block like a drive-by, like he's driving in Compton.
What you know about that spook light?
And guess what, B? And I'm not making this up. There's a parking spot across the street right in front of the building.
Not today. Not that day. There's never a parking spot in front of the building.
No, it was the spot across from the building. The spot in front of the building was safe. The spot across was open. My father pulled up so proudly. So proudly. I looked. I said, is it the rocket ship or the Poohs? I said, I'm not going to the moon today. I put those Poohs on. The moment I put those Poohs on, now it's, you know Saturday morning kid theme songs that came on every Saturday morning when we was a kid. That was playing when I put the shoes on while I was in this Lecter 225, like the year 1969.
I can't right now. Wait, what was the deciding factor on you going with?
Then my father, he puts up the windows. Remember those power windows that had the one latch on it? He puts both windows. He puts the window up, and he looks at me. He said, "Get out the car." He said, "Get out the car."
He's walking on death row.
He said, "Get out the car." And when I put those pools on, I tied them up. They were on. You couldn't see my big toe no more. Now I was ready for my death walk.
You already know the heat.
I get out the car very slowly because my father parked across the street. Remember I told you he parked across the street. So when the everybody in front of the building saw my father get out the car, I'm on the passenger side, ready to make my world premiere like I was at some kind of model runway. I was ready to show off my new fashion line.
My new fashion line.
And I get out the car defeated with my head down.
Oh my God.
Because remember, I had those Pumas on. I was hot in these streets. I was hot. The streets was hot.
Your father killed that.
The streets were talking. The streets was talking.
Oh, shit.
And B, my father gets out the car, and remember, he had no emotions. Remember, I told you he had no emotions. But B, when my father got out the car, he cracked a smile. He cracked a smile.
Did he know?
He knew. He knew. He knew.
Oh,
He knew that my death walk was about to start.
Oh, Dad, you set me up for the fall down. Why?
And B, remember, I'm 11 years old, snotty-nosed kid with a big head. And B, I walk. Every kid, all of us was 11 with big heads and snotty noses. And B, I get out the car, I walk towards the trunk area of the car. Remember, it's that 1969 Electra 225 Buick. That car was 700 feet long.
Wow.
And B, when I got to the end of that trunk, and now the masses can see me, and they saw the pools. And I had the rocket sneakers in my hand. B, it is 4:19 Eastern Standard Time, summertime in the Bronx, New York. And I hear this noise, B. I hear a noise like Derek Jeter hit a double in the World Series in 2003 to win the game. It was an eruption. And I'm going to put a pause on that. An eruption of laughter. All the kids were like, ah! Yo, look a little hard. They used to call me Little Hard. Look a little hard. He got on Winnie the Pooh's.
The clean Winnie the Pooh.
He got on Pooh's. I ran through the courtyard. Like Carl Thomas back, what was that? I forgot this guy. I run through there like an Olympic athlete running a 440. I knocked two people down. They're all laughing at me. I run into the house. My mother making fried chicken or whatever they was doing back in those days. And I hugged my mother and I cried.
Going back outside.
I said I'm never going back out there again. You can still, and we lived on the first floor, B, right there in the courtyard. You can hear everything. Yo, Little Hub, you seen him? I was breaking news, sort of like Queen Elizabeth. Carl Lewis, thank you.
Oh, I can't right now.
Right.
Ooh, poor mama. She's like, what?
And while I was hugging my mother, she looked at the pools and she said, damn. And then my father walked in. She looked at my mother. She was like, "Hey, Earl, now why the hell you?" They started arguing. I got the pools on. We crying. I'm crying. Two adults are yelling at each other.
Even mom knew that was wrong.
Mom was like, "Yeah, you know that ain't right."
Just wrong. Oh my God.
All right. I'm glad. Thanks everybody for allowing me to share. Because sharing is caring,
Right.
and I have to share these stories.
Oh my goodness.
And all
That's
this
hysterical.
Thank you. All this is a true story. Put a number in the chat room if you're enjoying the show. Put a number to it.
So did you say again why you went with the pools as opposed to the lightning bolts?
But here's the back end of that story. Here's the back end of the story. Like anything else in life, B. Everybody, B Love. We're gonna rock with her tonight. Instagram 7:30. Like anything else, it's a level of acceptance in life, right? 3 days later, I came outside with my pools on. It was okay. and and I wore the Rocket sneakers after the pools.
You submitted.
And I was out there playing like we were all playing. My pools was out there. And like you said, maybe I should have embraced it like Kanye West did. But it took 3 days. I had to come back outside. I'm 11 years old. I got my pools. I looked at the pools, and I was like, let's go.
Okay. We gonna make it work.
All right, B, let's go on. Let's everybody. B Love's gonna get into some news right now. Boy, the time went by so fast. We're almost out of here in 20 minutes. We appreciate you guys so much. Hey, put a number one chat room if you ever had some Skippies back in the day.
I had Skippies.
Did you have Skippies back in the day?
Absolutely, for sure. My kids may have grown up bougie, but I mean, I didn't. My mother was all my mom really cared about was that our clothes were super clean. You know what I mean? Like, she always liked to pop a tag. That's the one thing I'll say about my mother. She don't care if it was $1 tag or $100 tag. She just liked it to be crispy, clean, and new. So, for sure, I had my Skippies. I had my fair share of a Pooh or Barbie sneakers, the Shawn Harvey. I'm not a mom.
True story.
A Barbie sneaker.
Put a number one in the chat room if you had a pair of Skippies back in the day. That's all. Don't let me. Okay, B, you had a pair of Skippies back in the day?
Yes, absolutely.
Thank God. So now I don't feel bad. Put a number one in the chat room if you had a pair of Skippies. Welcome to the show, guys. Only place on earth where you get your morning start right. Please like and share the Shawn Harvey Morning Show featuring Wake Up Team.
Joshua Jackson was the only one who had a pair of Skippies. Come on.
She had the 69ers?
I had Skippies.
She had a pair of Skippies? She's the only.
That is so funny. That's it. Come on,
y'all. She's the only one. Only us three had the Skippies. That's it.
Yeah, come on.
Princess, where's Princess? Is she in there?
He was early. I thought.
Princess, have you ever had a Princess?
Wait, Princess is in jail.
What?
He's in Facebook jail again.
No, hold on, guys. Wait a minute. Like LaShawn Haynes Jones. No, Super Pro Keds wasn't Skippies like that. Super 69ers and Super Pro Keds. No, guys. No, guys. No. Super Pro 69ers and Super Pro Keds weren't skips back in the day. No. I'm talking about that Pathmark sneaker that was in the back that my father bought me. Hold on. Matter of fact, Princess is on the phone right now. Let's clap.
Okay.
Let's clap.
Morning, Princess.
Morning, B. Yo, I'm crying in my house. I can't comment, Sean. I'm in jail for 2 days. And I think they got hit to me. My no-pause account is restricted too. I think they hit to me now. So all my accounts are restricted. I can't comment. Yo, you got me crying in here. I thought my reject story was bad. Yours was 10 times worse, bro. And I feel for you.
Well, thank you, brother.
Yo, but why did you wear the pools and not the rocket and the lightning bolt?
Because it was the red shorts on Pool. Man, Pool was working on red shorts, bro. And then the flames were coming out the rockets. For real, they had little flames coming out. I said, I can't do this. And everybody knows Pooh.
More manly, more masculine than Winnie the Pooh.
But I figure everybody know Pooh. We all know Pooh. I ain't no dude with a rocket with some flames coming out of it.
It was the designer.
Pooh had a smile on him. It was summertime. Like, what do you want me to do? It was a terrible situation to be in.
With Winnie the Pooh's cool in the Bronx. Okay, I got you.
Yo, it was a terrible day. But like I said,
His brand recognition, Princess.
yeah, like I said,
Yo, that story was hilarious. Yo, Sean, you gotta shoot a skit. You know, like when you're telling the story,
Yeah.
you got characters acting it out. You gotta shoot a skit like that. Bro. That was hilarious.
well, I definitely will look into
Yo,
that.
but I just called because I can't comment, and I didn't want to leave you out there, you and B out there alone. I had a pair of skits. But I had skits that was cool. I had the Vans back in the day. So I don't know if that counts.
No, the Vans don't count. They were no Vans
They were
was
actually called
Vans runs a
Skippies, weren't they? No, they were Keds.
yeah, but
Keds made Skippies.
Vans and Vans are lower, a couple steps lower than the 69ers, because the 69ers were definitely not a Skippy shoe, and the Super Pro Keds, that if you had those, you was on top, you was doing your thing. NBA basketball players were wearing those. The Vans were 3 steps down, but I went in the gutter.
Oh, my God.
I went in the gutter. I went right to when you buy your sneakers. Princess, you remember path marks, right?
Yeah, I remember the
Exactly.
that my mother would never subject me to, but I mean, your pops had to teach you a lesson, bro.
Yeah, that was, and that's a lesson I never. And let me tell you something. Princess Cox, no pause. I never messed up another pair of sneakers ever in my life.
That's right.
Ever, even as an adult, ever in my life. Stop doing that. I don't want to wear Winnie the Poohs again.
Right.
Princess, how long are you in jail? What's going on?
For 2 days. It was a comment that they took it out of context. It was.
Princess, we have to send you to social media rehab, because how many times have you been in jail? Like every time I come jump on, it's like Princess is in jail. What's going on with you?
It's crazy.
Repeat offender?
They're getting more and more sensitive now. I don't know what's going on. I just told Cindy I was going to be right behind her when she told me she was going to run away from me. I told her I'd be right behind her in my wheelchair to run over in my wheelchair, and they put me in jail.
Are you serious?
Wow.
Yeah.
Yo.
I threatened her. They saw it as a threat, like I was going to really run her over.
Oh.
Like, come on, man.
Wow. You have to be sensitive.
Well, again,
you gotta use your pronouns.
Again, how many times I keep saying to B, this is the first time you're gonna hear this, but they know what I was saying. They know what I'm about to say. B, we think we own the social media platform. We don't. We sign an agreement to behave a certain way on the platform. But now we don't know what to say. Right. You can't. So now we know you can't say, I'm gonna run you over with my wheelchair. You can't say that, because then you're gonna get blocked.
Not politically correct.
You can't say you're gonna be run over anything.
That part.
All right. Well, thank God it's only two.
Princess, is there a bail? Like, can we bail you out? Like, what's this?
That's hilarious.
What's this jail process?
Nah, ain't no bail. They denying bail. I'm a repeat offender. Like, I'm on my third strike. They about to get me right.
No visitations. No commissary.
Send pictures. Just send pictures.
Yeah, you said he was denied bail. B, you're not going to believe this. Back in the day, not to toot my own horn with Princess, but a segue into, I was blocked out of the Shawn Harvey morning show group for 35 days, out of my own group. I was blocked for 35 days. Done.
I'm miserable in there. I can't comment. I'm like miserable, man.
Yeah, but Princess, you got to take it easy. See, now they got both of his pages. Princess, please take it easy. I don't want you to tread lightly, my friend. I don't want you, please, after you just wish, do what I do. Do what I do. Put a smiling emoji. Wish people happy birthday. Put a 100 up.
We got to put money on the books for Princess. Y'all becoming an expensive morning situation, Sean. First, we got to put some money in the books for Sean to buy corporate water.
Right. And
then we gotta get the locksmith together. Now, Princess got to get bail money for coming out of Facebook jail. What's going on over here? It's kind of feeling like a Christian scam.
Yeah, but with us, B, as you know, we're very dysfunctional, but we're very loving folks. Unlike your show, everybody got their ish together down there. Here on this show, a lot of mental problems over here, and that's why we're here, and that's why we need to get our morning started right, B. So this the surface. This is the surface. Go ahead, Princess.
I just tune into LGL Real Talk, and I don't even say. I just wave. I don't even say anything. I'll be like, oh, they got it together on here. I can't even joke around on here.
Yeah, you can't.
No, you should joke around on
No.
it. I have seen you come through. Thank you so much, man. And always feel free to throw the comments in if you want to jump on.
Hold on, wait a minute.
I
Let me
got
stop.
you.
No. Hey, no. Let me talk to my B. You stay right there. Let me talk to my peoples. I want y'all to go over there if you can to support B. Don't say nothing. Just listen, because a gang of us B will come over there and LGL Real Talker will turn into something else. I don't go over there and don't say a word. Let B and all her life together friends articulate whatever the hell they're talking about over there. We just watch and listen and shut up and learn. And then in the morning we come over here back to romper room. Because that's all we know, B. B, that's all we know is romper room. We don't like intelligent conversations for 45 minutes. Who does that? So to all my people that listen, you go on down there and listen to B tonight, get your mind fed for a little bit, and then bring your ass back here in the morning. All right, Prince, we gotta go.
Romper Room, home of the Winnie the Poohs.
No doubt. B, real quick, everybody, let's clap B Love. B, you got a quick story before we get out of here?
Oh man, my story's too long.
Put a pause on that. Don't worry, I'll shorten that thing up 30 seconds. Don't worry about it.
We can talk about that tomorrow if you want to. Because I just want to give it a shine, but I wanted to I know we talk about a lot of stuff, especially on this show. And I know that we've talked about, Lizzo being attacked for her size and just, with the whole Ari Spears thing. And I just wanted to give her a shout out because, she won an Emmy. And I don't know if you know, she has a show called, oh my God, Lizzo's Watch Out for the Big Girls. Have you ever heard of that show?
No, I should, but I apologize. No,
you probably should not. But anyway, it's her an Amazon series that is basically documenting her search for backup dancers. And, one of her things is about inclusion, making sure that, she's representing women that not just look like her, but other women, who are in plus size. So, she just recently won an Emmy for that show. And I'm sorry, I'm going to have to read a little bit. But, she was just basically saying that when she was a little girl, all she wanted to see in the media was women who looked like her. Black like me, beautiful like me. And she uses the word fat. When she took to the stage to accept her award. If I could go back and tell little Lizzo something, I'd be like, you're going to see that person. But, bitch, it's going to have to be you. And, that being groundbreaking and basically just the struggle that big girls, I think, have and women have with their body issues, I wanted to just, give her a shout out and just be like, hey, congratulations, Lizzo. Just follow your dreams. And a lot of us don't always do that. So that was basically the story I wanted to share today. So, but then when I thought about those Winnie the Poohs, I'm like, has Lizzo ever worn Winnie the Poohs? And wouldn't they be super cool, Shawn?
Well, I do want to say, thank you for that story, and then we're gonna end on that, and then we got a whole bunch of news. Put number one chat room if you enjoyed the show today. Put a number two if you didn't. So we have definitely get into whatever we're gonna get into tomorrow. Thank God for Jesus. When I hear Lizzo, and God bless these women, and winning Emmys and all these awards, and I'm not downplaying that. It's a tremendous achievement, especially in the times that we live in today. These Emmys and all these Oscars back in the day, that was purely for the Babylonians. And then they took a token neighbor every once in a while and showed them their propers. But when I think of Lizzie, I think of Ari Spears. And I think of Ari Spears because I think that the Lizzo camp, and this is, I don't want to get into the conspiracy world. I'm not that guy. You are, B. God bless you. But I think the Lizzo camp dropped a dime on the Ari Spears situation, because after he dogged her out, just 2 days later, all this bombshell came out about this
Sexting.
The sexting with
Pedophile.
the pedophile thing. And who was the other young lady, the superstar? I forgot the comedian. What's her name? I can't remember.
Tiffany Haddish.
Tiffany Haddish, right? What a coincidence. I think the Lizzo camp, who these folks over there are very fierce. These are fierce women. These are young women, boy, and they are social media savvy. And Ari Spears is a comedian like me that he's just a no disrespect to him. He has a tremendous career in doing stand-up. And I say that because he works every weekend in clubs.
Right.
So I'm going to give him that. People say he's washed up. Where is he washed up at? The man works every weekend of the year. That's not washed up to me.
Right.
And I'm saying that as a comedian. Comedians want to work all year round. Different facets of comedy as well. You got the A-listers all the way down to guys that work cruise ships. What are you talking about? I don't understand washed up. What does that mean? If he's so washed up, why the hell is everybody talking about him? I don't think that's washed up.
Right.
But I think
what are they talking about him about?
Right. But I think when he woke up the sleeping bear. You don't wake up a bear. The bear got to hibernate for 3 months. These bears got to go in the woods somewhere and they got to sleep for 3 months. Mm-hmm. You don't wake up a sleeping bear. Bears, they eat all the food in the fall and then they have babies. Some bears have babies while they're hibernating and sleep through the whole situation. I saw that on a Netflix documentary.
I'd like to sleep through a pregnancy. Put a number 1 in the chat room, ladies. No, I'm joking.
No, that's hilarious. That's funny. Yeah, put a number 1 on the chat room if you want to sleep through a pregnancy. And then what? That's funny. And B, guess what? Ari Spears woke up a sleeping giant. And I think the Lizzo camp, God bless her. God bless this woman, man. I mean, she looks like every woman out here in these streets almost. And a beautiful young lady. And I'm a fan of hers, even at my elderly age. But I think somebody in that camp was like, yo, we got some smoke on Ari Spears.
Wow.
And then she said, you want us to deliver this smoke? She said, deliver that smoke like a Northern California fire in the forest. Give that neighbor the Smokey the Bear.
Yeah,
and I think these people leaked all of that pedophilia situation. So sometimes, and this has nothing to do with Spears, just in generally speaking, just mind your business.
Right.
Mind your business, stay in your lane. And if you're going to throw a rock, be prepared for 4 to be thrown back at you.
Right.
And they delivered that smoke.
Right.
And Tiffany Haddish might be collateral damage of that smoke. Because now I'm hearing that she was supposed to be in some kind of blockbuster movie next year or whatever, and I got to look into that story. I don't want to speculate, but I think they might want to reevaluate. I think they're reevaluating all of that.
Well, they have to. I mean, when we look at the whole situation, it's to your point. If this guy is even still working, and again, it's all such a sad situation. I don't think Lizzo or her team have that power yet. Lizzo's big, but she ain't Beyonce big. You know what I'm saying? And on that level, I think to the Godfather, what he said, that was just karma.
What did he say? Because
sometimes karma, she shows up in a way you wouldn't even suspect. Like, seriously.
Wendy, hold on a second. Wendy Gonzalez says she made it work. She made it to work without crashing. Listen, God bless you. Thank you. That's what we do in the morning. Go ahead, continue on.
No, karma's one of those things. Like, look at Bill Cosby, no offense, because I know people are sensitive about that. And I'm just talking about the situation as is. This man had managed to get through or get by all of these sexual allegations, right?
Yeah.
Actually paid somebody off to shut her mouth. And what does he go to jail for? The same chick he paid off to shut her mouth. If that's not karma, I don't know what is.
Hilarious.
At the end of the day, he only spent 3 years in jail, but guess what? 3 years in jail at his age, at this time. Bill Cosby would have never thought he was going to be in jail. That's karma. And in this case with Ari, that's karma. And guess what? If Tiffany got pulled into that, she got some karma too. So that's all I'm saying.
And I totally agree with you. But Ari, moving forward, I know how you always like to give it up and give up that smoke to other celebrities, and maybe you might want to reconsider. Will this hurt his career? I doubt it, unless the comedy clubs don't want him to perform anymore. Then that might be an issue for him. I seriously doubt that. But Tiffany, you got more to lose in this whole situation. Hopefully, it might just lead as a natural course, and you could go back to work. But if these Babylonians are mad like that, and a lot of folks get involved up there, you know, the folks who run Hollywood, it might be a wrap for you, young lady. That's all I'm saying. But be careful. I hope it all works out. But you can't joke about incest and pedophilia, child abuse. You can't.
Child sexuality.
You can't.
Like
it's
pedophilia.
pedophilia.
It's not funny.
It's not funny. It's. I don't know how you can even make that funny. It's not funny. A lot of people, millions of people suffer from this, with this, and being victims each and every day in this country, where they grow up and they become dysfunctional adults because of this. And unfortunately, and then sometimes victims of child abuse, they start abusing other people. So where is the funny?
Right.
There's no fun. I'm a comedian. I could go every angles with a lot of situations. The end goal is I don't see the funny in child abuse. I don't see it.
Right.
Sexual abuse for a child. Where's the funny? There's nothing funny.
Right.
You can't. There's no punchline.
There's no punchline, Ari. But that just goes to show you're out here attacking other people. You need to look in your own closet. And as soon as he cracked the door, skeletons came flying out. Not good ones at all. And it's like, to your point, stay in your lane. Don't attack anybody. Keep good energy going out. Like what Shawn Harvey says, make sure you got good energy going out. And just, you know what I mean? Stick to what you do without hurting other people. I don't think hurting other people is funny.
True.
Especially in this case. So, yeah, just very interesting to see how that whole situation is going to go down. I really want to see what the ramifications is that is going to be, because... yeah.
Well, B, I want to say to you, thank you so much for rocking with me today. I'm going to give you the last word. I truly appreciate you. We all in the chat room have so much love for you. And I want to thank you for hanging out with me today. And we're going to hang out with each other. Be back here tomorrow. And I want to thank you, because even though this could be done by myself, it's always good to have someone to talk to. And someone to talk to like you was definitely amazing today. So I want to say thank you. So B, thank you so much. And we'll give you the last word.
Thank you, Shawn. Thank you. Thanks to everyone in the chat room. I appreciate each and every one of you so much. Please make sure you come out tonight. LGO Real Talk at 7:30 p.m., guys, where we talk that ish. Please say something in the comments. Don't listen to Shawn. Don't boycott me. But come through and support, and then I'll be here tomorrow morning where we'll be talking more of that ish, maybe even about what we talked about last night. So have a great, blessed day, everyone, and I'll see you guys later. Shawn, thank you so much as always.
I truly appreciate you. Only place on earth where you get your morning started right. Only place where you get this love. Shawn Harvey Morning Show. Wake up, team. Guys, we see you tomorrow. Have a blessed day. Come on, B. Let's clap. We're out of here.
Yay!
All right, guys. Put a number 1 chat room if you enjoyed the show. Put a number 2 if you did. All right, we're out of here. Thank you, B.
Thank you. Bye-bye.